Hello, Si Mustafa. I just wonder whether our friends will be back again. Would you please share this, live for the second time so that they can join? Okay, 13 people have joined us, which means that we can make up for the issue there. Would you please hit the like button, waiting for the others to come, please? So you are 11 there and 5 likes. How come? Okay. Good evening, Noel. Good evening. Thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Noel. Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience relating to the blockage that we have had at the level of the connection. I don't know where it's getting. It's weird. It's weird. Really weird. It has always been working the right way, and except these days, it has failed us. I don't know. It happened, I think, yesterday or the day before, and later, you see, recently it has started to fail us. God knows why. Okay, 16 people are watching us. Would you kindly hit the like button again so that it can appear, it can be shown to different people, because when we hit the like button, the video spreads and people will get more interested in what we do. Okay, thank you. Please let me know that you can hear me very well. 17 people. I don't know what we can do. Okay. Technology is not trustworthy. It's not at all. Adam Bila Hudud says thanks. Okay. So we have an endless world with us here, and that's enough for us. We can hear you. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you. Iman Busen. Hello, Iman. Hello. Thank you. So everything is fine. Fatih L says yes. Look at these new names. I'm glad that they have joined us, but I hope you have not joined us just for phonetics. You should be joining us because we have doctoral students here. We have people who have, already finished their studies. Some of them are professors and they are watching us. So it's not a good idea to come just for one session and then leave. You should not be like that. You should not be this pragmatic, just looking for the information you need, and then to hell with everyone or and everything that is not like that. That's not what I have in the exam. No, so it's good for knowledge also. Lala Malika, thank you. And Nabila Shfi'a, hello Nabila, Ustada Nabila Muhtarama, how are you? So I have two friends here. One of them is an Anglophone and the other is a Francophone. Nabila Ashfiha is a professor at high school, teaching French. She's following her master studies. I like this motivation in her. The fact that she is always inquisitive, and she's always curious, intellectually curious, of course. Thank you. Ahlan Ustada Fidwa. Hello. I hope you are doing well. I can tell that you are Fidwa because I remember this weird combination of consonants. Today we are talking about vowels, so you should have a combination of vowels there. Si Mohammed Bouknifi, we are followed by bad-eyed creatures. Oh, no. Okay, we believe that everyone you see is doing his job the way he likes or she likes. So it's these are just technical issues in technology. We have gained our 25 people. Ikram is laughing, okay, because I think when I referred to it was mentioning of consonants rather than vowels, I guess. Tell us, Ikram, whether you are laughing at this precisely. Okay, Si Saeed, we are here with you until we die. Oh, inshallah. Thank you so much. Thank you. We will learn from each other. You will not learn from me. No, it's just that it's thanks to the exchange. Sometimes you ask me questions that push me to further investigate. I will not hide it from you, okay? Okay. Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. So Ikram is laughing at Mohammed's comment. All right. So can we continue, ladies and gentlemen? So we have made the point. We have made the important point, because if you want to know about vowels, there are 2 points, ladies and gentlemen. Point number one, you should understand that vowels cannot be located more precisely at the level of the oral cavity. How can you say that U is a back and high vowel? Difficult, isn't it? Yeah, but if you learn this in the chart, you are able to locate the vowels in the chart. You will just, if I give you a consonant, you will see, well, this consonant is located here. Once you know its location, life would be easy. Let's try. And that's point one. Point two, the vowel charts that you have, whether for English or the vowel chart that I'm talking about here, which is Daniel Jones's cardinal vowel system. The cardinal vowel system, it's a chart like this, but it is a one way of representing the human tongue in the oral cavity. I hope you understand this. Type yes, ladies and gentlemen, especially as for students. Type yes if you understand my point here. The reason why this chart, I'll try to do it again, to write it again. Okay, I'll try to do it. This chart is not haphazard. This chart is not random. It's not, people did not wake up one morning and say, well, let's have a chart like this. Let's try to have this line like this, not straight line. So it's not like, the chart is not like this. No, this is not the chart. The chart is not like this. This is not our tongue. This is perhaps a beak for a bird. Maybe that's the vowel for birds. It can be represented like this. But for the human tongue, it keeps moving. Okay, so that's why we have, there is this, look, one line here, and this is like this. This is like this. You see? Sorry. Well, something close to this. Why? Because this can represent the human tongue. If you take a human tongue and you put it here, it will be exactly something. Imagine that this is a tongue. Imagine. But that's the tongue. That's the tongue, like this. This is the part, the front part is here, the one that moves. It can be here. It can move upwards. This is the back part that can be here and that can raise, you see? And this is the central part. So please understand that this is like a human tongue. So that when the vowel is located here, you remember it. That's what I want to say about vowels. You remember the location of a vowel. Remember the location of a vowel. If you do, you will tell if it's high, back, low, front, whatever, because you have just these combinations that are difficult, or central. You see? So when you have something like E, the English long vowel E, when I have something like E, you see? And when I have a French word like U, it's here. Sorry, it's also here. U. No, sorry, in French, U is written like this. This is U in French. This is not a Y sound. Sometimes you transcribe Moroccan Arabic and you want to say something with U and you write it like this. That's a big mistake. This is not yum, this is Imagine you have something like that, all right? So please pay attention. And by the way, one good reason to study, to take this phonetics part seriously is to be, good at transcribing your data later on, not necessarily this year or next year. All right? So once you have these vowels, you know that they are located here. If it is located here, what does it mean? What does it mean? in terms of height, or is it high or low? If it's here, automatically it's high. علاش? Because the tongue is like this, and it can be low and it can be high like this. So we have consonants like E, and then E, and then the French U, okay? And here you have a back vowel, which is U. U is a back vowel. U, and then U, and then here, for example, to the lowest, so you have this vowel here. What's this vowel? It's the E vowel. It's not A, it's E, where you can, find it in words like cat, as Mohsin says, in some Americanisms, like the pronunciation of I can't, cat, etc. Natalie says, so you have, look at this, look at what Natalie is writing. So let's just take that for reasons of illustration. They have these English vowels that Natalie has written here, okay? So you have E, and of course, if you have a long counterpart for this, which is E. English is a language that distinguishes long vowels from short vowels. They are phonemic, as you will see, my dear friends, in phonology. Vowel length can be contrastive sometimes, and I can hold a session for you in phonology if you ask me, of course. Don't wait for me to come. So do what Sihan did. She sent me a request on Messenger, and I am responding accordingly, right? So you have here this, and somewhere here you have a vowel like this. It's an A, it's a mid-high vowel. And then you have a mid-low vowel, maybe it's A. So there is a difference. As you move down, you open your mouth. You see? So that's why okay. And here you have this vowel here. Okay, nice. So look at this. So this is E, and then E. You may notice that as we move downwards in the chart, we move from high to low. The mouth is becoming open more and more. The lower, the more open. That's why this vowel is also called closed vowel. These are half closed. These are open vowels. But frankly, open and close does not feed into the distinctive feature matrix. High, maybe vowel height, low. Okay, a vowel height means we have high, you have mid, you have low. These are the ones that you really need to concentrate on. So you should be able to tell if the vowel is high, mid-high, mid-low, or low. High, mid-high, mid-low, low. Okay? Except that you also need to tell whether it's front or back. Okay? So let's just concentrate on these vowels and see, whether we can locate them or not. Ladies and gentlemen, just imagine you don't know anything. All that you know are the adjectives high, low in English, and front and back. But just imagine you learn the location. For example, if I give you A, this one, you know that in the chart it's somewhere here. The easiest way to learn about these vowels. You see? It's because if it were consonants, I wouldn't say things like this. I would say, feel it with your tongue. That's what we did before. Look at when I talked about the lateral liquid. Nobody knew, for example, that when you pronounce the lateral liquid, the air flows just through one corner, one side of the tongue. Until you tried it, and some students, when I tried this with them in the class, said, wow, that works. The distinction between s and sh, for example, the alveolar and the palatal. You see, people could not understand this at the beginning. But when I asked them to say s and then sh in a row for 5 minutes or so, they say, well, yeah, it works. But here it's really, 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 really difficult. So one way of attenuating this difficult state of affairs is to probably know about the location. We are at the age of location. Every now and then you say, send me the location. So it's good to know this through the location. You get some training on the location of individual vowels. And on the day of the exam, you may choose to reproduce this chart, and you will be very comfortable in, describing the vowels. For example, here, when you remember that these vowels are here, what you can say about them is that they are high and they are front. You see, this is low and front. But this is still the front part of the mouth. As long as it's not here, it's not back. Okay? The same thing goes for example, O, and then, you have, and then you have this ah, okay? You have other vowels. So these vowels are, best learned through their location in the chart. If I give you something like this, you can tell me that it's a back and then a low. This one is automatically high, back. The schwa is somewhere here, the and the French word for it's a little bit, it's like a, but somehow less front. It's the it's written like this. It's here. See, so this can easily be called a mid-central vowel. See, so here, without further ado, when it comes to the location, to the description of consonants, especially. So here, by the way, just to make life easy, you don't need three adjectives. You don't need to grapple with three adjectives. Just grapple with the two, with height and backness, frontness, with the vertical and the horizontal dimension, whether it's high, mid, or low, or whether it's front, central, or back. How can you do that? Just to tell you directly, just go to the chart and get some training on the location of vowels. For example, I told my friend here maybe some time ago that the best way of doing it is probably to reserve a half an hour a day, for example, to do it for three vowels. Just learn the location of the three vowels. Forget about the others. There will come a time when you do it over and over and over where you have this in your mind. So you will be, once I say something, you will pick it up and you will imagine the place in the chart, and you will be able to tell if it's high, mid, low, or front, central, and back. Okay, all right. So this is as far as the location is concerned. So as far as the features of height and frontness and backness. So here you will have answered two questions. How high is the tongue in the oral cavity? So the answer is high, mid, low. That's one question. Question two, what part of the tongue is involved? Here, it's easy to answer this question again. It's by, locating the vowel here or here. So if it's here, it's front. If it's in the middle, it's mid. Here, it's back. For example, if I give you this, you can easily say, well, it's a back, but it's not high because it occurs here. So please use this method. Work on a half-hour a day basis, and then you will see the miracle that will come out of this. Okay, just for these two features of height and mid, etc. The third parameter or third question is there lip rounding or not? What is lip rounding? Very easily. Lip rounding in vowels is the only feature that you can see. If I am silent and I say just like this, of course, you will not say that Amros is using is pronouncing no, he's pronouncing something like because you can see the rounding. Rounding can be visible, so it's not a big deal. Unless there are some symbols that you don't know. In that case, you need to classify them or something. Find a way of classifying them. They are too few compared to the vowels that are characterized, that are specified for height and for frontness and backness. Okay, so this is for the description. I don't know if Siham and company have a question in this regard. I will be very happy to hear them. If they agree with this strategy, then let's give them some time. Perhaps after a couple of weeks or so, they can come up with a good knowledge of these vowels and using this strategy. Okay, nice. Before we move to other issues relating to vowels in English, let me just read a few comments in here. I am waiting for the feedback of my friend here, Siham, Ikram, and the students I have, not I have because I don't teach the course, but the students who made this polite request for me to talk about vowels here. Okay, I wait for your feedback. When it comes to the advice that I gave you, I think it's one that will, make you very comfortable with the phonetics of vowels, and this will be with you for the next chapter, phonology, and next year, of course. But I'm not saying that you should not make any effort. Please do that, if only for half an hour a day. You will see miracles later on. You will automatically describe any vowel. All right. So maybe if there is any help that I have offered in this session, probably it's the fact of telling you that the shape of this chart, why it is like this, it's because it represents our tongue, and this is the lower part. When it is low, when the tongue is low, it comes here. When it is high, it comes there. This is the part when it raises, it pronounces oo. When you pronounce oo, you raise your tongue upwards. When we say it's low and front. If you want to check this, you can say and then like cat, and then oo like book, for example, oo. You will see that the tongue is doing gymnastics there, as though it's not Ramadan, as though it has not fasted. All right, nice. I'm just joking, okay? But I need your feedback, ladies and gentlemen. And if there is a specific question in this regard, before we move to the other point relating to the types of vowels that we can have, then it's a good idea to maybe to solve the problem here if you feel that there is a problem, okay? So thank you, Si Mohammed Bouknifi. I think you are in an exchange with Si Muhsin, the motivated Muhsin, by the way. This is nice. Okay, I think Si Mustafa is responding there as well. Si Bouknifi, Fiverr is something used by American. Okay. Well, I think that this is just an exchange. Thank you. I'm just looking for any question that relates to this. Okay. Mustafa, okay, it was great. Okay, fine. It's very helpful, much appreciated. Thank you. But when did you say this, Siham? Okay, nice. Okay, all right. Thank you, sir, for your insight. It's clear now. Thank you, Asma. So Asma is an S4 student as well. Very good explanation. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Faiza. Thank you very much. Now we move to something else. Ladies and gentlemen. And Mr. Mohsin has asked us to talk about sentence structure. I think we need to take enough time to talk about this, but not until perhaps we are done with the description, not with description. The description for the chart, it's there. So if you, I think, so Ikram, Siham, and the other lady, Asma, and our friends here. Well, if you would like me to talk about consonant, if you have an issue relating to the description of a consonant, all that you need to do is type the question here, and I will be very glad to talk about it. All right. Now, there is a distinction in the English language, a distinction which we cannot find in Moroccan Arabic, for example. We can find in Standard Arabic, by the way. Standard Arabic, Classical Arabic, right? There is this distinction between long vowels and short vowels. All right, long vowels and short vowels. There is a difference, for example, between the vowel that we have in this and the vowel that you have in this. You see, full, full, and full. So, ooh, you pronounce the vowel and you elongate it somehow. You keep the air flowing for a relatively short period, but a longer period than this one here, and then you obtain a long vowel. In the English language, we have a distinction between full and fool. We have a distinction between ship and sheep. By the way, there is a book, I think it's downloadable from the net. Its title is Sheep or Sheep, and it's one book that teaches you slight distinctions in pronunciation, in the English language, all right? I remember I received this as a gift from my father, Allah yarhamu, way back in 1994. I was a baccalaureate student, and he brought it to me from Bordeaux. I remember he happened to be in Bordeaux, and he brought it to me together with other books, of course. All right, but this is a very interesting book, of course, that can teach you, some of for those of you who would like to better their pronunciation. All right, it's called Sheep or Sheep. All right, nice. So we have a distinction between long vowels and short vowels. And in phonology, my friends, my S4, Barakallahu fik, Saeed, thank you. My S4 students here, later on in phonology, this will not be just an issue in phonetics, it will be an issue in phonology as well. Because what is the difference between phonetics and phonology? Phonetics is a description of sounds as they are. In other words, we don't care if they are English sounds, if they are, I don't know, we don't know. We are talking about, an individual sound regardless of where it comes from, which language it comes from. So we describe its physical characteristics. We take, for example, oo, we have to say that it's a vowel, see, and that it's a high, back, rounded, and we stop there. In phonology, no. In phonology, what we do is take the vowel oo and talk about whether it exists in language X or language Y, or it does not exist. For example, we can say that oo is not part of the phonemic inventory of Moroccan Arabic. Sorry, it exists in Moroccan Arabic. Let's take u, the French, the so-called u, which so many people pronounce as e or oo by default because we don't have it there. So in phonology, we can say, so in phonetics, u is what? It's a high front rounded vowel. You see? But in phonology, we can say that Moroccan Arabic is a language that does not have U. French is a language where there is U, so that's one thing. The other thing is that, maybe sometimes in some languages, a vowel can become U in some contexts. So phonology is language specific. Phonetics is universal, it's general, and it's a physical treatment regardless of the language in which it exists. Okay, so Saeed Rafi is saying exactly the thing. So look, he says what I've just said. Phonetics is universal, phonology is language specific. Very good. Thank you very much. You're helping me in this regard. Mamoni Mohsin says, I've never seen like your academic companion. Thank you so much, Mohsin. Stay with us and learn silently, and then and ask questions whenever you like. For example, we will respond to your question today, and you will go home. You will end this live. Look at what I have here. Look here. No, it's this. So you will go with with the problem solved, inshallah. Hopefully. All right. Thank you. What's the difference between morphology and phonology, Muhsin? Phonology is a discipline, it's a field in linguistics that studies the sounds and how they behave, in different languages. That's phonology. Okay, phonology, for example, can tell you that the sounds p, t, and k, which are voiceless sounds, are aspirated syllable initially before stressed vowels in English. Okay, that's phonology. Morphology studies morphemes. What are morphemes? Morphemes are the minimal meaning bearing units in a language. That is to say, it's a word. A word can be decomposed into different morphemes, into different parts. Those parts are called morphemes. For example, we have happy is a morpheme. It's a word. It's a morpheme. Can I break happy into two? No. So that's why we call it minimal. Minimal means it cannot be broken into two parts. So, but then you have the word unhappy. Can I break unhappy into two parts? Yes, I can. Okay, because I have un and then happy. N is what? N is some. Does it mean anything? Yes, it does. It has a function. It helps us derive the opposite. So it's a morpheme called derivational morpheme. You see? So this is what morphology is doing. It's a description of the different minimal meaning bearing units in the language, and of course their phonological realization. At one point you will realize that between phonetics and phonology there is a strong relation, of course. Okay, nice. So this is the idea for, there is this distinction between short and long vowels, and generally long vowels are marked by means of a dot here like this. So you write a vowel like E. When you sorry, E is like this. So when you feel that there are two, when you see that there are two dots here, it means that it's a long vowel. This is just E, but this is E. Okay. Some languages, unfortunately, like Moroccan Arabic, like Amazigh, except for some dialects in Terifit, long vowels probably do not exist in the Terifit around the region of Nadur. But there are diphthongs for C, but in some speakers, not some speakers, but the region of Husima in general, and Xinaya, these are dialects that have long vowels, but not phonemic, but allophonic. I can explain to you if you ask me in this regard. All right. There is an article that I co-authored with the great Professor Ben Soukas way back in 2007. We're talking about this very important issue. I think it's downloadable from the net. Just write Ambrose and Ben Soukas coerced vowel weight in Terifit, and then you will have at least read that introductory part where we are talking just about facts before the optimality theory analysis, you see, unfolds. For feel, it's an E. You are absolutely right, C. Muhsin, except that the E there should be written like this, because in phonetics sometimes I'm sorry for no. For that it should be like this. Okay, just write it like this, and it will be correct. In linguistics in general, and in phonetics in particular, sometimes the minimal change that you can make to a symbol can mean something else. So you have to be very careful, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Hanan Mrit is asking the question, what is the difference between, we have just talked about that, but let me say that very briefly, okay? The difference between phonetics and phonology, before we talk about the difference, we talk about the similarity first. What is the similarity? The similarity is that there are both fields of linguistics whose job is to work on sounds, is to analyze sounds. The two of them, جوج بيهم خدامين على sounds. ما يديروش شي حاجة أخرى. They are analyzing sounds. This is what they do both. But they do it in different ways. كيفاش in different ways? In phonetics, we take sounds as they are and we don't care where they come from. And we provide just a physical description. For example, we say that M is a voiced bilabial nasal. Do we care about where it comes from and how it behaves in languages? No. So this is phonetics. Phonetics deals with sounds as they are, regardless of the language they come from. Phonology deals with the behavior of a sound, like, for example, M, in specific languages. For example, you can say that M in language X, this is just hypothetical, M in language X, let's say one language, hypothetical language, becomes N when it occurs before an alveolar consonant. Yeah, this is a possibility. So this is the difference. Hanan, I think, asked me this question. This is the difference between the two. Just a very simple, direct, basic difference between the two disciplines. الاس 4 ياك ما سولتوني على الفاولز ومشيتوا because I see that you have only 20, we have only 21 here, 21 viewers. Please share the link if you would like me to sustain this effort, just as a way of encouraging. There is nothing that so Ikram is here. Ikram is, I thought that you left. Okay, nice. Started is voice, smoked is voiceless. Am I correct? Muhsin, please ask me this question at the end because there is a lot I can say about it. And this is also in favor of our friends here, our S4 students here, who will do that later on, of course. Okay, Ikram, sir, would you please explain phonology, definition of phonology and phonemes, allophones, and distinctive features? Have you covered that already, Ikram? Okay, have you covered already that, or are you just trying to jump the gun? But I can do that without any problem. ولكن do you have any problem here when it comes to phonetics? Is it fine? So it takes just some learning, and you will be there, right? Before I move there, yeah, I will answer your question too. Very important question. So we have an important question from Muhsin. In fact, Mohsin gave us two important questions. And then we have one here by Ikram. I think these these questions are worth answering. But before these questions are worth answering, my throat is also worth, having, some water go through it. Good. Okay, Mahsin. I think I will explain everything here. Yeah, I will try to. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so if it's clear, I don't know if you know the difference between diphthongs and triphthongs and monophthongs. Very quickly, these are generally referred to as monophthongs. Mono means one, and when you have something like I or A or O, etc., they are known as diphthongs because they are vowels that consist of two parts. It's like they have two articulations there, like fight, as Simasin is saying. Okay, now let's move on to the distinction between, just related to this. I guess Ikram's question is more related to this, and I will leave the pronunciation of the ed, that's morphology. I will leave it until probably later on. Let me answer you, Ikram, very quickly because that's a very important question. So, sir, would you kindly? No, she did not say kindly. You explain, but it's fine. I read kindly. I don't know. So, would you explain? Would you is already polite, all right? Would you explain? Would you like? Please, she said also, please to explain phonology, definition of phonology, and phonemes, allophones, and distinctive features, all right? Now, for phonology, we talked about the domain of phonology, which is the function of speech sounds in different languages. A very quick example is to talk about, let's say, yes, let's say that, okay. Let's talk about this. I will give you, just to better understand this, I will give you an example from Moroccan Arabic. This is for the people who are asking this question about the difference between phonetics and phonology. In phonetics, you say that this is voiceless and this is alveolar and this is a stop. This is the job of phonetics. Phonetics has nothing to do with individual languages. Okay? Let's see what phonology